morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Java with Jesus. I have my Java this morning. I've got a pink theme going on today. Java, we've got our Jesus over here in the Bible, and I've got my devotional, and I have my highlighters. So we are ready to go. We're just going to jump right into it today. No babbling. But speaking of babbling, ironically, today's chapters are Genesis 9:1 through 11:32, which goes into the Tower of Babel. So speaking of babbling, we're going to babble about the Tower of Babel today. So I'll give you guys a second. Everybody take a sip of our coffees. Here we go. Delicious. We got that pumpkin spice creamer in there. I'm ready. We're going to open this book here. Once again, I say this every episode, but once again, through the Bible. You can find it on Amazon. Everything that I am using personally linked in the description of YouTube below if you would like to go shopping. But you can find quite a bit of this stuff at any Christian bookstore or a lot of thrift stores too if you're on a budget. So we're going to dive right in. Episode 4, Genesis chapters 9:1 through 11:32. So we got 2 full chapters again today. Bear with me. We build monuments to great moments and great people. Quote, lest we forget is etched on the bronze plates of more than one statue. But monuments are more than just memory aids. In building them, we want, above all, to glorify something. We want to honor a person or idealize an event. Shortly after the flood, which we talked about yesterday, God made a covenant or agreement with Noah and his descendants. But soon the people forgot God, his goodness, his deliverance, his judgment, and his promise. And they became impressed with themselves, so much so that they decided to erect a monument to themselves. Humans. We haven't changed much. They built their tower to glorify their greatness. It became, instead, a memorial to their and our greatest foolishness, human arrogance. We can learn several lessons in this passage that we're about to read. God is good and merciful. God is greater than we are, and all humans are connected by sin. Chapter 9, Covenant of the Rainbow. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every beast of the earth and on every bird of the sky, with everything that creeps on the ground and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are given. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I give all to you as I gave the green plant. Only you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely I will require your lifeblood. From every beast I will require it. And from every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. As for you, be fruitful and multiply. Populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. Then God spoke to Noah and his sons with him, saying, now behold, I myself do establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that comes out of the ark, even every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you, and all flesh shall never again be cut off by the water of the flood, neither shall there be again a flood to destroy the earth. This is the sign of the covenant which I am making between me and you, and every living creature that is with you for all successive generations. I set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. It shall come about when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow will be seen in the cloud. Rainbows! And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and never again shall the water become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the cloud, then I will look upon it, to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. And God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Now the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. One of these days I'm going to get it right the first time. I don't even know if that's right. I'm trying my best. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These 3 were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. Then Noah began farming and planted a vineyard. Woo, wine! He drank of the wine and became drunk and uncovered himself inside of his tent. Oh, no. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and walked backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were turned away so that they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. So he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, he shall be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant." Noah lived 350 years after the flood. So all of the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Chapter 10, Descendants of Noah. Now these are the records of the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and the sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. Here we go, bear with me, guys. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, and Rippeth, and Togarmah. This is why we usually start with the New Testament. We're going to push through it. We can do it. The sons of Javan were Elisha, I bet that's what it is, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these, the coastlands of the nations were separated into their lands, every one according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. Ooh, okay, so we used to be separated by language and then family. That's interesting. That makes sense, actually. The sons of Ham were Cush, and Mizram, and Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, and Havilah, and Sapta, and Rama, and Sabteka. And the sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. I feel like we need to find a family tree online somewhere because, wow. Now Cush became the father of Nimrod. He became a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. Is it said? I don't know. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went forth into Assyria, and built I never can pronounce this right, Nineveh, and Rehoboth, and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, that is the great city. Mizraim became the father of Ludim, and Anamim, and Lahabam, and Naphtuim, and Pathrusim, and Casluhim, from which came the Philistines, and Caphtorim. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heph, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward the families of the Canaanite were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon as you go towards Gerar, as far as Gaza. Well, at least we know what Gaza is. As you go towards Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, by their nations. I hope somebody wrote all that down. And into a family tree. Also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and the older brother of Japheth, the children were born. The sons of Shem were Elam, and Ashur, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. 2 sons were born to Eber. The name of one was Peleg. For in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almadad, and Sheleph, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba. Oh, I can pronounce that one. And Ophir and Havilah and Jobab. All of these were sons of Joktan. Now their settlement expanded from Mesha as you go towards Sephar, the hill of country of the east. These are the sons of Shem according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, according to their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their genealogies, by their nations, and out of these the nations were separated on the earth after the flood. Genesis 11, universal language, Babel, and confusion. I also have confusion, so aptly named. Now the whole earth used the same language and the same words. It came about as they journeyed east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. They said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they used brick for stone, and they used tar for mortar. Mortar. Get it. I get it. They said, "Come, let us build out for ourselves a city and a tower whose top will reach into heaven, and let us make for ourselves a name. Otherwise, we will be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." The Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. The Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all have the same language, and this is what they have begun to do, and now nothing which they purpose to do will be impossible for them." We're getting too big for our britches, basically. "Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language." Okay. "Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language, so that they will not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of the whole earth, and they stopped building the city. Oh no. Therefore, its name was called Babel, or Babylon. If anybody's ever heard of Babylon, same thing. Therefore, its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of the whole earth. Descendants of Shem. Here we go again. I'm going to try my best. These are the records of the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and became the father of Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived 500 years after he became the father of Arpachshad and had other sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years and became the father of Shelah. Shelah. I think that's actually Shelah, now that I'm reading it. Shelah. And Arpachshad lived 403 years after he became the father of Shelah, and he had other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years and became the father of Eber. And Shelah lived 403 years after he became the father of Eber, and he had other sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years and became the father of Peleg. And Eber lived 430 years after he became the father of Peleg, and he had other sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and became the father of Reu. Reu lived 32 years and became the father of Serug. And Reu lived 207 years after he became the father of Serug, and he had other sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years and became the father of Nahor. And Serug lived 200 years after he became the father of Nahor, and he had other sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and became the father of Terah. And Nahor lived 119 years after he became the father of Terah, and he had other sons and daughters. Terah lived 70 years and became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the records of the generations of Terah. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot. Oh no. Haran died in the presence of his father Terah in the land of his birth, in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abram and Nahor took wives for themselves. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah. Sarai was barren, and she had no child. Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went out together from Ur of the Chaldeans in order to enter the land of Canaan, and they went as far as Haran and settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. That was a lot of genealogy, and I know I butchered a bunch of names. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. All right, that was chapters 9:1 through 11:32. We got to talk about the Tower of Babel, which was basically not good. I find it interesting that we all spoke the same language, and now, even to this day, we all have different languages. That's so cool. How that ties into modernity. You guys know what I'm saying. You guys get it. Anyway, the people in this story built the Tower of Babel for the whole world to see. This tower was most likely a ziggurat. A ziggurat? A common structure in Babylonia at the time. Usually built as temples, ziggurats looked like pyramids with steps or ramp leading up the sides. Standing as high as 300 feet and often just as wide, a ziggurat would stand out as the focal point of a city. Interesting. Today, people may not build statues, temples, or pyramids, but they still erect monuments, achievements, expensive clothes, big houses, fancy cars, important jobs, etc., to call attention to themselves. When used to give personal identity and self-worth, these otherwise worthy pursuits take God's place. God gives us freedom to develop in many areas, but not the freedom to replace him. As you read the passages, which we just did, consider any towers, quote, that you may be building. Tear down anything that stands in God's place. Oh my gosh, this is so relevant right now, especially with social media. Everybody's putting their money above everything and flaunting. They're getting the new thing. And I fall in that trap too. Like, I'm not glass houses, guys. Anyway, that is Genesis 9 through 11. We usually close in prayer, but honestly, the only thing that I can ask you, God, is to make sure that we don't put anything above you. Keep it in our hearts that we cannot replace you, that you cannot be replaced, because that is so prevalent. There we go. We got there. Prevalent nowadays with social media, with the money that people are making, flying the fancy cars, being the first, like at TJ Maxx, to buy the Halloween pillow or whatever. Like, that is, especially in the nerd space, which I am, like, we have our little cases of action figures or whatever, but nothing can replace God. I mean, we can have these things and have them, and of course display them, but when they become more important than God himself, that's when it's a problem. So God, I just ask that you keep that thought in our hearts today as we go forth and we are on social media and we're doing our thing, and to never let go of sight of you in achieving these pursuits and achieving these goals. And I ask that you make sure to keep us humble a little bit, because we can get a little egotistical, which is how the Tower of Babel started in the first place. So God, thank you so much once again for being a presence with us. Thank you all for watching as well. And God, once again, I just ask that you keep everybody's hearts humble and make sure that we keep the fact that we cannot replace you, and nothing, no matter what we do, will replace your kindness and your benevolence for us. And everything that we are given does come from you, even though we have worked towards it. You are the one that have given us the goals, the drive, the stamina, our health, whatever it is that we need to achieve these goals. And I just ask that you don't let anybody that's watching or listening now forget that. Anyway, in Jesus' name, amen. And that's episode 4. We'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 5.